Hey guys, Josh back again. Anna's not going to be here this week. She's on her way to Utah right now to visit her brother and his brand new baby boy, so I'll be doing this video solo. But it's time for another Walking Dead review. This time I'm reviewing the Walking Dead comic book number 151, titled Call to Arms. If you haven't read this yet and you want to avoid any spoilers, you're going to want to skip this video and come back later, because everything I say from this point forward is going to be a spoiler. I thought this was a really good follow-up to issue 150. I know a lot of people had a problem with 150 because they kind of expected this big world-changing event. And typically in comic books, every 50 issues you get something like that. And we weren't given that in issue 150. However, I do think that because we had all of those deaths with the heads up on the pikes just a few issues before that, I think I'll give 150 a pass. I'm not going to be too hard on it. But I really did think that 151 was a fantastic follow-up to it. It starts off and Rick is training the army. It looks like they haven't been training very long. They're still very green. And they get surrounded by walkers. And Rick and Vincent almost die because Rick quickly realizes that he's a liability out there. He's only got one hand, his aim is a little off. He was just recently beaten up pretty badly by Vincent and Morton, and Dwight ends up saving the day. He saves both of their lives. And there was two really interesting scenes after that. Rick goes to talk to Dwight saying, hey, you need to take over training this army because I'm a liability out here. I've exhausted all of my police training. It looks like you have some military training. You should take over leading the army. And Dwight, as we know, he's not really down for a leadership role, but it looks like that's going to be thrust upon him and he's not going to have a choice. And then also later on, Vincent comes up to Rick and he thanks him for saving him, and Rick's like, hey, you need to thank Dwight. And Vincent basically just, he wants forgiveness. And during the course of the conversation, Rick says to him that, you know, you're not a bad person. You did a bad thing. You're not a bad person. Basically, we can come back from the things we do. And that gets the wheels to turning. And he goes down to see Negan. And Negan's like, hey, what do you want? And Rick's like, nothing, I just want to check on you. And then he leaves. Like, he's thinking about letting Negan out, but he's not quite ready to yet. I do think eventually, if Negan doesn't escape, Rick is going to let him out. And one of the reasons I'm thinking this is because right now there's a power vacuum at the sanctuary where the saviors are. And Rick has a conversation with Michonne, and he convinces her to go take over the kingdom because Ezekiel's gone. And she's like, you know, I was thinking about it anyway, I just needed an extra push. So Michonne's going to go lead the kingdom. Maggie's already leading Hilltop. Rick is in charge of Alexandria. There's a power vacuum at the sanctuary. So maybe Rick is going to free Negan and let him reassume power at the sanctuary. And I think that might be Rick's end. I think Negan might end up killing him, and then Dwight will take the leadership role and the primary protagonist of the comic. It seems to be going that direction to me. Dwight is a super interesting character, and his arc over the past several comics has been really cool because he's had this leadership role thrust upon him, and despite the fact that he's really good at it, he doesn't want that responsibility. For whatever reason, he doesn't feel up to it. And I hope we get some insight into the reason why. Rick hints that, he said, hey, it looks like, you know, you've got some military training. You need to take over the training of our army. And so maybe something happened when Dwight was in the military that has him questioning his ability as a leader, but for some reason he doesn't feel up to it. I just have this hunch that I think Rick is going to die soon in the comics. Okay, at the end of the comic, Eugene's on the radio, and it's just something that he does. He just puts calls out there, I guess trying to attract new people to the various communities, and it seems like for the first time in a very long time, he gets an answer. And he is utterly shocked. Like, who are these people out here? Who is this person? It might only be one person. It might be a large group. Maybe it's the Whisperers. Maybe they actually have a little bit of technology out there. Maybe one of the Whisperers answered him. We have no idea who this person on the other end of the radios is, so it's going to be really fun to see who that is. I'm looking forward to finding that out. Okay, I'm pretty sure that's it for this video. If I missed something, or if I got something wrong, or if there's just something you think I should have mentioned that I didn't, let me know down in the comments and we can discuss it down there. Also, if you enjoyed this video, tell me by clicking that like button and subscribe for more reviews. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.